Have you seen a beautiful bride before? This is a beautiful bride. Today is my civil wedding and I'm so excited. Look at her.
You do not lie, you do not fail. What is hard for you to do? It doesn't exist. It can never ever exist. You
So the next one I want to look at is decoration. So for my wedding, I had a cousin, and she was the one that did my decoration. So I remember I told you that I was not going back and forth with vendors because I know who I wanted. There was no time for my beads. I am a bead designer, so there was no need telling anybody to come and do bead. I know what I wanted. I know the particular design. In fact, when it was time for me to design my wedding beads, I had so many ideas coming into my. I didn't even know which one to design. I'm like, well, let me try and do something and do, and I went all out. I designed two for my husband, two layer. I designed two from. I remember that it was like, we know you are the bride. See how your husband is even shiny because the necklace what to reach is leg. That's by the way. And so my cousin did our decoration, and it was beautiful. So you need to have all of this in mind. The vendors list, you need to know, understand your budget. You need to know what you want. You need to stand by ground and know what you want. Now the next tip I'm going to be saying is that you want to cut out unnecessary spending. So you want to remove some things and other things again that will cut off, that we cut out. I did not do ashwebi. I did not do gele. There was no, I did not do bridal shower. My friends, I remember I said my friends were far away. So there was nobody to do my bridal shower for me. So I'm even somebody that is doing all the planning myself. Why will I keep myself? I did not do bridal shower. We did not do ashwebi. I remember one of my auntie was saying, why didn't I do ashwebi? I'm like, I just gave them color, purple and gold. They were like, I'm like, no, auntie, I don't have time. She like, I don't have. Before we do ashwebi now, somebody will be begging you to come and buy the clothes. When you buy the clothes, you will not pay. I will be dragging you for money. Anyway, so we did not do ashwebi. There was no gele. The only thing I did was I only had, my friends were only four. I had four of my friends, and they all contributed money. I went to the market. I was the one that went to the market because, like I said, they were far away. And so they were giving me more support. They were asking questions. We were chatting. They were asking, okay, babe, what is the next thing? What is the next thing? Is this one done? Is this one done? Is this one done? God bless you, Susan. God bless you, Grace. God bless you, Diola. And God bless you, Jim. Okay. These are the four friends I had that were with me as the bride's friends. And so I went to the market when I was going to buy some my things, my wedding things with my sister, my younger sister, and I bought the clothes that I want them to wear. So they contributed money, and I bought the clothes, bought the gele, and I had to start sending it to their location. So that is the only thing that I bought, that I did. So it is my four friends, that my bride's friends. My husband also got his four friends, and that was it. So there was no bridesmaid, there was no ashwebi. We did not choose gele. I did not do bridal shower. I removed some things that were supposed to be removed because there is life after wedding, and we can't afford. I can't afford us to use all our savings to do wedding. So you want to be very careful. You want to remove all unnecessary spending. Now, even the hair I did for my church wedding, I did not pay for it. It is my younger sister that did the hair. So if you are someone like me, because I got married in MFM, Mountain of Fire, they already told me during counseling that they will not allow me to use attachments. And of course, I know I am an MFM bride, and I know all of these things. So I know that if I want to get married there, I have to follow their rules because I'm the one that I want to get married. So there's no need fighting over anything. So I know that day there's no need for me to buy. So I didn't even waste time to buy weave on. I only bought Brazilian wool, and I watched a particular video online, and I told my sister, a day before my wedding, I went to relax my hair because I had to twist. So my sister just twist the Brazilian wool into my hair, and just round it as a donut. And when I went to the market to buy things for my wedding, I bought bridal accessories, I bought crown and everything, and I bought pin, and my sister used the pin for me. So that day I didn't even pay any money for any hairstylist, because I was checking. I was, even before my wedding, I was going to Instagram pages, I was going to people that can style wedding hair. I was seeing, I think I saw, I think I tell somebody a message 25,000 naira, be 30,000 for hair, that the church we did, we did not do up to we did not spend up to 2 hours or 3 hours. Our church wedding was done on very early on Saturday morning by 7 a.m. Yes, and that was because then the church was doing part thing, that we were doing something. They were having ministers meeting, and so all the ministers were supposed to be there. And so we need a minister that was going to join us, and that minister that is supposed to join also supposed to be in that meeting. And that meeting was supposed to be, it is the general overseer that will be seeing all the ministers in the whole Lagos and everything. And so, if not because it was our wedding sef, they wanted to cancel the date, but I'm like, that I've printed on IV and I've Joe. So they had to say, okay, oh, the minister will, so that they had to fix the wedding very early by 7 a.m. And I think before 9 we were done. So why will I be spending 30,000 or 50,000 on bridal hair? It doesn't make any sense. So one of the things I did was I removed the hair, and my sister said she will do it for me. The hairdresser even already packed my hair as donor, because I already retouched it, so it was really neat. So that morning said my sister, she did not even do much. She just put the pin, twist the bridal wool inside, so that it will do small bob, and they just fix the veil, the wedding veil, and it just made sense. So I did not spend any money on my hair. Another thing I removed was, another thing I cut off was invitation. So for your wedding, you want to make sure that the invitation card that you want to do, you want to send a virtual invitation card to people that are on WhatsApp. So what I did was I created a group, a broadcast list, and I created a broadcast list of like 100 people. And that's because we had a guest list of people that we want to call. You are not calling the whole world. Your wedding is not carnival, unless you want to have carnival. We did 200 guests. So I added 100 of them into the broadcast list, and I sent the message to them at once. Every 100 people, they got all the message at once. So that night, the congratulation was just coming in, congratulation. So I included the date of the wedding, the time of the wedding, the venue, and I even included that if they want to support or financial support, I don't know. I even included the account number. And I remember something like, okay, don't worry, yeah, we'll get a wedding gift together. In fact, some people were even sending me gifts after my wedding, and some people sending me gifts even before my wedding, because I already attached the my account number. And what was very important was we did a virtual invitation. So the only invitation card that we printed was just 20 pieces, and that 20 pieces we did not pay for it. Thank you, Bro Toby. God bless you. Bro Toby is a friend of mine. He was the one that handled our IV. He told me that, okay, he's going to do our IV. I'm like, our IV service is even virtual, but we need small, because I took small to church, and my mom took to the church. My sister, a few people in the community, we just gave them. The rest was done online. I sent WhatsApp messages to over 100 people, and my husband also did the same. So he only took some IV to his place of work, and my dad to the church, my mom to the streets, to the locality, and that was it. It was only 20 IV that we printed. We reduced cost when it came to IV. So you want to reduce cost as well. It's not everything that you want to be spending extravagantly. It has to be done with wisdom. So the next step says food and drinks. Yes, as much as I've talked about all of these tips, I need to understand that people should come to your wedding and they should eat. They should not come to your wedding and should not be saying they have not eaten. But that does not mean that you go and kill 100 cow. That even if you kill 100 cows, some people will still say they have not eaten. But you need to make sure that the food that they will eat, that they will be of good quality. It's not the food that they are going to fight themselves over. So you want to have enough water on the table, enough drinks, enough juice, enough wine. All of these things are the things I wrote down. In fact, I wrote it down to the point of how many bottled water we bought. If I want to start showing you, this video will be too long. That is why I said this video is a very long video. So down to the juice that we bought, because it was 200 guests. So I already spoke with my decorator, and she told me how many tables are going to be decorated. So we use that table to do decoration of how many juice will be on the table and how many wine will be on the table. And there is a particular table she did for the chairman, because we had a chairman on the wedding. So we also want to have a chairman depending on the type of wedding you want to do. If it's a Christian wedding or a Muslim wedding or any wedding, you want to have somebody like a father figure that wants to give you, I don't know, but we shall had a chairman. And so there is a particular table that the decorator designed for the chairman and his wife and important people, my dad and my mom, and important people in my husband's family. So there is a particular drinks that are on that table, and so the rest of the table also have some drinks, have some juice, has chin chin, has sweets, every other, all of this is you want to put it into consideration. How many juice or how many juice do you want to buy? You don't want to start assuming that okay, your decorator will do 10 tables. Okay, you will now do 10 drinks. You will not get it that day. Plenty table will not have drink. No, your wedding is not going to be a gra wedding. Your wedding is a wedding that you want to sit down and plan. And that's why all of this information is important. You want to look into the area of the food and the drink. The food, there should be food and there should be water, there should be drinks that is going to be enough for the particular guest that you want to take care of. So if you want to have only 100 guests, of course you should have drinks and food that will cater for this particular guests that are coming to your wedding. The next thing I want to say is that as much as you know that people are going to support you, please make sure that you have your own money. Don't start planning on people's money that they've not sent. Oh, somebody said they will send you money for wedding. It is 3 months to your wedding. You have not even done anything. 1 month, you don't even know what the wedding guy you want to do. You have not got out the hall, the cake, the DJ, the MC, because you are waiting for somebody to send you money. Some people send you money on your wedding day. I need you to understand that. So you want to have your own money. It is that your money that you're going to use to start paying for all of this. So if anybody send you any money, it is a plus. In fact, you even have plenty savings after the wedding. So don't wait for somebody say, I will send you money, and the person did not send anything. You're now waiting. That would be a disaster. So don't say that if you want to get married, you and your husband should have a particular amount of money first. So if your family members, your sisters, your friends, your family want to support you, that will be a plus. Don't go and fix your wedding. You and your husband don't have shingbai. It is not a good idea, because you are going to be frustrated. Have some money. If it is 1 million or if it is 500,000, you want to use, okay, start planning towards 500,000. Okay, want to have 100 guests, 150 guests, okay, 500,000. Want to go for a hall of 100K, all of the 80,000 in your location, or if you want to do it in your hall, in your room, you want to have all of these things. So if anybody else starts sending you money, your friends start sending you money, and now receiving alerts, it's going to be a plus. So my wedding, we're just receiving alerts back to back, and I'm so grateful for the people that God has blessed us with. So like I said, it is your wedding and you don't want to take the place of God out. So for every step of the way, you want to ask God to prove himself, because money that we had and I thought was not going to be enough, people were just sending money, and even money was coming, businesses were flowing, and everything was just going well, and to God be the glory, the wedding was successful. Like I said, we had our own money, a percentage of the money, and so we trusted God for more funds, and God did it. So you also want to do the same. You also want to have some money for yourself, and you want to trust God that people are going to bless you, going to support you. So have money, start planning, and start putting everything into place. Okay, so the next, for your wedding also, you want to look into the type of things you want to get for yourself, which is your ring as the bride and your husband's ring. So you want to come into play. Okay, how much are we looking at when it comes to ring? How much is our budget? You want to know. So both of you want to go and get the ring. And if it is you as the bride that want to go and get the ring, you know the size of your husband's ring size. You want to go and get it. So when it was my turn, I got a wrong a wrong ring size for my husband, and it was what we used for our civil wedding, and the ring was not fitting well. So I had to go back to get the actual ring. That was even when I now know that the size of his ring that I was belittling. His wrist was actually his ring size was actually bigger than what I thought, and so it was fixed. So I got another ring that fits into his own, and so that was it. So I want to look at what type of ring are you buying? Are you buying a silver ring, a gold ring, whatever you want to put into play? So when it comes to your all as well, on the front of your all, you want to put a banner that will be in front of your hall, that will be your picture, you and your husband's picture, and they will be like, so anybody that comes to that hall that day, even if the person does not know your hall, your picture alone would depict that this is where you are getting married. All of these things should be into consideration. And if you don't want to have a picture on what at the front of the gate of your hall, a banner of you and your husband, then is also fine by you. Anything that you want to do, all of these things I'm saying is that these are the things I did that made our wedding a successful one, and we got on our side. The wedding was beautiful. So that's why I'm giving you like a tip, because like I am an experienced bride. If anybody says come and plan their wedding now, I'm going to wear my agbada, because all of these things are what I did. So for your traditional wedding, you want to know that you are going to have letter. So all of these things, you are going to use alaga. You are going to have a letter. You are going to get bridal hand fan. You are going to get a veil. Of course, you're going to wear clothes, you and your husband. So you have to put all of these things into consideration. I'm just listing out all of these things, should in case you have forgotten. So as I'm saying into this video, you're going to remember, you're going to use letter in at your traditional wedding. You're going to use a bridal hand fan. That's an important thing. Okay, you're going to use a ring, and of course, your husband will bring something that your daddy will give them as the list. That one is not part. That one is you and your daddy that are going to be talking about that one, and your husband. Why do you want to decide how many days do you want to have your wedding? Yes, I just remember this tip. How many days? Do you want to have your wedding 3 days? You want to do your civil weddings a separate day? You want to do your traditional day wedding a separate day? Then you want to go for your church or reception a separate day? Anyone that you do is fine by you. But for me, I said about 15, and our big day was December 10. We had our church wedding, engagement, and reception on the same day. It was a 1 day event. So previously, 3 months before, we did our civil wedding, so there was no stress. One of the reasons why we did our civil wedding was personal reasons, and because I wanted my other brother to be there, and so we did everything. We wanted it to be like before the wedding, so that there will not be any stress. And so you want to decide, you and your husband, how many days you want to do. You want to use 2 days, because if it is 2 days, your food, people will eat 2 times. So you need to put all of these things into consideration. Okay, so that's by the way. So I've talked about so okay, now we're talking about I when I was talking about the vendors list, I forgot to mention that your photographer and your videographer is part of the vendor. Remember I said that I am a particular bride, that I don't like stress. I had the particular vendor in mind, so I didn't know so the only person I also asked for price was another photographer that I did photo shoot with him twice, and his picture was beautiful. And the price he gave me, it was more than I and my husband budgeted. So all of these things has a lot to do with your budget. If you and your husband said that okay, your photography budget is like 200k, don't go and meet a photographer that said they want to collect 700,000 naira. You have to work within your means, and at the same time you want to get a photographer that will also take good pictures. And I remember that he called, we spoke, and I gave him the details of the things. So one of the things you want to do for your wedding, that the photographer you want to get should be the photographer that will cover all the events, so that every of the price will be inside. Don't go and get a different photographer for civil wedding. You now get a photographer for pre-wedding shoot. You now get a photographer for church wedding. You're going to be spending more. When you get a particular photographer that will cover the whole event, it's going to make sense. So the photographer that we got was the one that we did our photo shoots. You want to decide which of the location you want to have, because they asked us, how do you want to have the photo shoot? I told him we want an outdoor wedding. And when he told me about that, he's going to find out about the outdoor, the price. I told him I'm looking at JKK in Ikeja. Okay, it's like, okay, has not gone there before, but he has seen other photographers that is going to go. I think, when was now time, I think a month before, now told us, I can't even remember the price. I'm like, kilo there for how the wedding. I'm like, okay, let us do it in your studio. And so that was when we decided to do it in the studio. And so we transported ourselves. I and my husband. We went with our two outfit because I wore two outfit for our pre-wedding shoot. My husband also wore two, and so we carry our bag and baggages. We went to the photographer's photo studio, and we did our photo shoot. So we want to also consider where is the location of the person that want to do your pre-wedding, the price of that place, the location. You have to put it into place. So when I already decided that we are going to be using that photographer, I told him that it's going to cover the whole event, it's going to cover the pre-wedding, it's going to cover the civil wedding. So even in our registry, I reminded him like 2 days before that he should get there before also, because registry does not take time. Within 20 minutes you are done. So if your photographer does not come on time, of course there are photographers there, but we want to go with somebody that we know, and I know that, okay, I can always say, okay, is our picture not ready and everything, because it's the one that is going to cover the whole event. So you want to also put that into consideration. So you want to get a particular photographer, and make sure that your photographer also have a separate videographer. Please don't use the same person as a photographer and as a videographer. You will not get the result, because one person cannot take video and take pictures at the same time. It has to be done by two people. One will be taking videos, one will be taking photos. Even though the photographer that I use sent our pictures 7 months after our wedding, that one is a story for another day. Anyway, we shall got the photographer, and he was the one that he covered the whole photography aspect of our wedding, from the pre-wedding photos, to the civil wedding, to the engagement, to the church, to the reception. Is the one that he covered everything, and he came with his videographer. Even though his videographer did not come on time when I was walking down the aisle. Anyway, that's one of the things about wedding. So that's all. That's all about videographer and photographer. So you want to have that in mind as well during your vendors list. You want to have a particular book so that you can list all of these things I mentioned in this video. And so if you can categorically do all of these things, you'll be able to plan your wedding yourself. You'll be able to know the cost of your cake, the cost of your decorator, the cost of the hall, the cost of the church counseling, how much you're going to pay. You go to the registry to find out how much you don't want to collect, and everything. You will go there to go and ask for the details. You will now sit down with your husband. How much is your budget? How much is your guest list? How many guests are you looking at? Are you looking at 1,000 guests, 500 guests? You put all of those things down. You talk about your budget. You cut down unnecessary things. There are some things that are not needed. You don't want to stress yourself about it. You don't want to go and waste money unnecessarily. There are some things that you can do yourself. You don't want to stress yourself. You want to do some things. If your friends say they want to help you to do some things, don't go and be doing abracadabra. Say you don't want. Let them assist you. Your friend say, what your friend is asking you, okay, as a new bride, what do you want me to do for you? And you say, okay, I don't want to bother anybody. It is your friends that ask you. You're not bothering them. Like, okay, anything that you think you can do for me. My friends, my one of my friend was the one. She did not collect money for my ashoke, because she was the one that did my wedding ashoke, my bridal hand fan. One of my friends, like Jumoke, she gifted us a free chin chin for our wedding. Then the rest of my friend, they came. Susan sprayed me money, and it was beautiful. So you want to make sure that you have all of these things. The caterer you want to call, how many food, what type of food you want to cook. You want to know all of these things. You want to cook only fried rice, jollof rice, moi moi, salad, pounded yam, semo, porridge, everything you want to do. You want to put it into consideration. Do you want to have smoothie? Do you want to have fruit? Do you want to have everything? Everything. You want to have all of this information, because you want to decide. You want to know how to do it according to your budget. All of these details are very important when it comes to your wedding. So you want to take your wedding planning very seriously, and it must not be done in a very rush way, because you're not getting married in a rush. You have to take your time, maybe like 2 months, 3 months. You want to use to plan your wedding. So you can even do your civil wedding like 3 months before, 2 months before, 1 month before. You can even do it 6 months before. In fact, you can even do it and nobody will even see your picture. When we got married, I did not post any picture. I posted our civil wedding like a week to our wedding. So majority of people even thought we got married. We have gotten married. We were legally married since September, but we had our wedding in December. So do what works for you. If you don't want to post your wedding online, of course, all well and good. You and your husband want to decide, this picture we don't want to tell anybody, because it's a civil wedding. You want to do it with your family, your sisters, it is going to be a very small thing. You don't want to involve the public, and so it is when it is your big day, you want to start telling people. You want to post your pre-wedding shoot, pre-wedding picture out and everything. So that is just all about the planning process. So let me go through my book and let me see if there's anything that I did not mention. And like I mentioned that, don't allow anybody to make you change your mind for the things that you want. If you know that that is what you want, please stand by it. It is your wedding, for crying out loud. I know that your parents' suit is their wedding because your mommy want to call her family members, her groups, anybody, but it is your wedding and you want to be so excited. So you want to do things that will make you happy. And at the same time, please don't forget to involve God every step of the way, and don't forget to rest as a bride. So because I planned the wedding myself. After my wedding, I broke down. I had malaria, and it was my husband had to call someone who treated me, and I got treated because the stress was a whole lot. So the wedding stress will be a whole lot for you. So if you can afford an event planner, by all means, please get one. So if you have watched this video to this point and you have not subscribed to my channel, remember I just shared amazing tips and nuggets, deep information in this video. I'm going to be glad if you can subscribe to my channel. So I'm saying to you, please subscribe to this channel. Just click on that red button and subscribe. Turn on your post notification so that you'll be the first to know when I upload new videos. Also share to your friends that want to get married this year or very soon on how they can plan their wedding, and make sure that you follow all the tips, and make sure that you follow all the things I talked about in this video. It's time for taking pictures and they are not calling you, where is the bride, where is the bride, where is the bride? Don't allow anybody to stress you. Remember that I did not talk about makeup in this video, and I wrote it down. So one of the vendors list is also makeup. You want to know the particular makeup artist that you want to use. Like I said, I have a particular makeup in mind, a makeup artist in mind. And so when it was time for my wedding, I just reached out to her. I don't think I reached out to any other person. And I remember that I paid 55,000 naira then, December 22 for my wedding. Yes, 55,000 naira. She did my wedding. She was there for the church. I got married in MFM, so there was no makeup, but of course I look beautiful because I told her to use a very mild foundation and lip gloss for me, and I was beautiful. And so when it was time for engagement, I did a full glam and I wore my beads as a bead designer. They also find out the makeup artist that you want to use for your wedding and everything. So you want to know that it is your wedding, and make sure you rest very well. Don't let anybody pressurize you. So for my wedding, in the reception, I already had it in mind. My For the church wedding reception, I already had it in mind, and I told the MC that I'm going to dance with my daddy on that day. So that day I danced with my daddy, and my husband also danced with his mom. It was supposed to be done after, subsequently, like if I'm done dancing with my daddy, my husband would dance with his mom, but there was no time, and so it was done at the same time. I was dancing with my dad at one side. My husband was also dancing with his mom at the other side, and it was beautiful. So you want to make sure that all of these things are what is needed. You want to put them into consideration, for you make sure that all of this information you have them, you write them down, you jot them down. How you are going to start getting them done one after the other. For the church wedding, when it was time for church wedding, we entered a church program. The church gave us a specific number of program we should print, and they told us we should print 40 pieces. And that 47 was even almost excess, because it was a 7 a.m. wedding, and people were not even were we all even to 40 that day. Okay, I think we had like few ones left, and thank God it was just 40 that we paid. If it was more, it would have pained me. So all of these things, you want to make sure that you cut your coat according to your size, depending on what type of wedding you are going for and what type of religion that you are. You want to know the particular thing they are asking for. So if you are going getting married in the church, you want to find out how long is your wedding, is your counsel, is the church counseling going to be for couples. You don't want to just wake up and say I want to get married. You have to do counseling. In most of the church, they will say you have to do counseling before they will now fix a date for your wedding. So these things are not things that you just jump into. You have to plan towards it. Okay. So these are the wedding lists. I have to write them down one after the other, and these are the prices that we paid. So you want to look at all of this list and pick the one that pertains to you, the one that you know that you and your husband want to do. Just look at them, and you'll be able to have an idea. The fees in front of them are the prices you paid for each of them. So just want to look at them. The one that you know that you're not going to use, just discard them, and that's just all. Remember, we had 3 events, and civil wedding, pre-wedding, traditional engagement, and church, and that will be all. And if you can afford a wedding planner, please go get an event planner, because the stress is a whole lot. In fact, it was even after my wedding that I realized that event planners are trying, because the stress I did that day is is a whole lot. So if you can get an event planner, by all means, please go ahead and get one. So that will be all about today's video. Please don't forget to like, share to your friends, subscribe to my channel, and comment. I will want to know what you think about today's video. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Once again, my name is Ola, and this is Yinka Bims. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you. God bless.